Hi everyone, welcome to Motivation Medicos. I hope you guys are doing great and taking care of yourselves. I am Dr. Ghazal Gupta. I am a periodontist and an oral implantologist and a laser dentist. Well, today I am here to talk about my experience of practicing dentistry in the pandemic, the challenges that I faced, the surprises that came along the way, and the patient response to it. Before we move on to that, just a little bit about myself. So I did my graduation from the prestigious Nair Hospital and I went on to do my masters from MCODS Manipal. Currently, I practice in my own multi-speciality dental clinic in Mumbai since the past 6 years. It's been a great run so far, thanks to all the love and faith that was shown by my patients, as well as the positive feedback that I got from them. Amazing run, definitely, until March 2020. Well, we all know what happened. We were struck by the pandemic. Our profession was one of the most affected because of obvious reasons. There was a lot of uncertainty and unpredictability out there. We didn't really know what to do, when to resume, whether to resume, and how to resume, right? I think we've all been there. But thankfully now I think most of the dentists have resumed practice. A lot of them are practicing full-time like how they used to before the pandemic, which is a great thing. But it was not always like this. I think you'll agree with me. Well, yes, I have also started practicing. I have resumed my practice since the past 2 months now, but I was also one of the most paranoid people, paranoid dentists out there. I was scared to not just contact the virus, but also give it to my family, my staff, my patients, right? I think you all will agree with me when I say that it's not just about you getting infected. The fear that you might give it to your family is even worse. Right? But then at the end of the day, life moves on and you have to get back to work. So finally, I decided to make up my mind and I got back to work. The 4 months that I wasn't working, what was I doing? Nothing. Well, not really nothing. I was planning as to how should I actually start. You need a lot of planning on paper before you actually move to your practice. I know that no matter how much you plan on paper, when you actually go to practice, things are a bit different. But if you don't have a plan, you're all over the place. So yes, thankfully for us, I think you all would agree with me, there was so much of information available online as webinars, seminars, YouTube videos, etc. Thanks to all those dentists and senior practitioners who took out time and put these videos online absolutely free of cost for us. It really helped. It was a lot of information available and you could pick and choose as per your practice. I know there was a lot of it, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out what works best for you. Now, in my case, I first came up with a budget because, every practice is different. Now, in my case, I knew that I don't need to push this budget unless and until it's really needed. So yes, I came up with the budget and I came up with the list of things that I wanted to procure for my clinic, for my staff, etc. I did not go overboard with it because I didn't want to end up spending too much on something which I would probably not use after the pandemic. I think you'd agree with me. But that does not mean that you cut corners at the important places. It means that you spend wisely and spend more on what is very important right now. So yes, I got everything procured. I was in touch with my staff the whole time. I was making sure that they are doing well and that they really want to get back to the practice. To be honest with you, they were more excited than I was. They would call me and ask me, ma'am, kab start karoge? We're getting bored. And of course, financially for them, it was pretty taxing as compared to us who were relatively more financially secure. Of course, my family was also opposing. I think a lot of people would agree to it that your family is also a bit scared and everything. So there were a lot of factors, but eventually you have to push through it. So once I knew I was ready mentally, I decided to come up with a date. I had a couple of patients who had been in touch with me during the pandemic because they had some issues and they did not want to go anywhere else. Because I think once the patient develops that faith in you, he or she doesn't want to really go to anyone else. So yes, they were also one of those people who were sort of driving me to start back my practice. Eventually, I decided on a date. I decided to see one patient that day, just to see how the things are in place. I would advise you that do not call too many patients the first day, because first day you're still figuring out whether the plan that you have actually on paper is valid in the practice. Because what I observed was, even though I had everything in place, when the patient walked in, there were so many things which I realized later. And that's natural, because only when you actually go through with the practice, you sort of remember that, oh, okay, this is something which I could have done differently, or maybe that is something which I don't need to do, and no, this I need to take care of this. And you have all those things on your mind, and you have to perform the procedure. So your mind is all over the place. So to start off with, I would advise you start with only one patient to make sure that things are in place, and then gradually you can increase the number of patients. So just like everyone else, I started off with a non-aerosol dentistry procedures, and I did that for a couple of weeks, and I gained a bit of confidence too. And then I realized that I think it's time to start with aerosols, because you know what, at the end of the day, dentistry and aerosols go hand in hand. And there's no way that you can practice dentistry without producing aerosols. And when I say practice dentistry, I mean actually practice, not just do extractions and the small fillings and restorations that were there. So yes, I decided to go ahead with it with all the precautions. Initially, I was wearing a hazmat suit. I still wear a hazmat suit, depending upon the procedure. It was very difficult. I'm sure all of you would agree with it. Everyone, I think almost everyone that I know was like, I don't know how we're going to work with this whole armamentarium on us. I can't see, I can't breathe, blah, 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 etc. But everything falls into place. You get used to it. Just like always, you get used to anything new eventually. So yes, I mean, it was a bit difficult at the beginning, but gradually I think all of us got the hang of it, including my staff. One I would say it was a pleasant surprise. So let me start from the beginning. So I was a bit skeptical about the hike in charges that I had incorporated in my practice. The reason being that I had invested a lot to make sure that I had everything in place. I had the protocol in place. I had all the different equipments that were needed to make sure that things don't go wrong. Now, to maintain that level, it's important, and not go into loss, it's important that I slightly hike my charges. Now, I'm not saying that you have to hike, it's up to you. Some dentists might prefer not to hike the charges, that's their call. Now, I decided I had to, because I felt it was necessary. So I was not sure as to how the patients would respond to it. Well, to be honest, and I'm telling you this, 90% of the patients did not have a problem with it. When they came and they saw the efforts that we had taken, when they saw the risks that we were taking, most of the patients are aware that you as healthcare workers are really risking a lot when you're working on them. So I didn't really have to sit and convince most of the people. There were a couple of patients who asked some questions about why the charges have been raised, and I explained it to them. Once I explained it to them, they were totally okay with it. So trust me, it's all in your head. If you know what you're doing and you have a basis for it, patients will not oppose it. Yeah. Of course, there's this small percentage of people who could not afford it, and I understand. And of course, they went elsewhere. But you see, you cannot make everyone happy at the end of the day, right? You have a lot riding on you right now. So yes, it's been 3 months of my practice, and 2.5 months actually, to be precise, and I can't complain. It was a bit difficult at the beginning, but now I think I'm pretty much comfortable with it. And you know, there was a slight silver lining to it. The standards of dentistry have gotten raised. I'm not saying that the standards were very poor to begin with, but I think we all would agree that the way we are taking care right now, and things like using a rubber dam, and paying so much attention to the disinfection protocol and making sure that there's no cross contamination, I think it's become even better now. So I think these standards are here to stay, and we are all going to bounce back to this normalized, improved dentistry, right? So that is something which I think has come out very positively in all this chaos that was surrounding us. So yes, I mean, overall it's been good, but I know at the end of the day we're all scared, but this is our profession. There's no way that we can go around it, and patients also are looking up to us. They want to get their treatment done. So sooner or later you have to open your practice, because the pandemic is here to stay. You have to learn to work with it. So my experience was great. Initially I was very unsure, to be honest. I was not even sure if I will be able to practice all by myself without any help. But I'm very comfortable now. My staff is comfortable. Patients have given amazing feedback, and they're all happy. So yes, this was my experience in short, and if there is anything else that you would like to share with me, please mention it in the comment section. And also dentists who are still thinking about it, who are at home and not sure if you want to start practicing or not, there is absolutely no pressure. It's your personal decision. You could have some reason, specific reason why you're not starting, and that's absolutely fine. But for people who can start but are a little skeptical or a little worried, I think you need to take the first step, because this is what my colleagues used to tell me, that once you start, things fall into place. And yes, the fear also sort of, you overcome it over time, right? So that's that. And of course, lastly, to all my non-medico and non-dental friends, please do not be scared to visit a dentist. If you have severe pain or some kind of dental emergency, please do not keep popping pills, because that is not going to solve the issue. We all know it. And if you're worried about getting the disease at the dental clinic and you're not sure how the dentist is taking care, please pick up the phone, book an appointment, or at least talk to the dentist. There's no harm in asking all the questions. You can make a note of it, write it down. How do you sterilize your instruments? How are you making sure that there's no cross infection? What kind of protective wear are you wearing? What are you going to give us when we come? What is the duration between two patients? Are there too many patients? You can ask and you can make your decision accordingly. But still, if you're not convinced, what I suggest is you go to the dental clinic and you see for yourself as to how things are being done, and only then decide on getting the treatment done, right? So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Team Motivation Medicos, for giving me this opportunity. If you guys have any questions, anything specific to what I have already spoken about, please let me know in the comment section. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.